Hey everybody, it's a SIG P226 Elite Scorpion model with a threaded barrel review. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible and try to give you guys as much information. So we're going to go ahead and start with the unboxing. I have had this open before. I bought it from a local gun dealer here in town, so whether or not you get this new that hasn't been on display, there might be some extra plastics or stickers inside the box. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything like that. I got it as you will see it right now. So let's go ahead and open this up. Inside, you see we got a decent little case, some padding right here. One thing I like to put out is this right here. This is kind of cheaply made, and they didn't have any padding in here, so I'm not sure if you guys who have this weapon, you guys might have got padding. I didn't. I think that's kind of unfortunate. That would have cost like an extra 50 cents for them to just put in some padding. That kind of bugs me, but it's not that big of a deal. Here we have the weapon with one magazine in it, and then it comes with an extra magazine right here in this second little side pouch. So we'll go ahead and take this out, set that down for a second, take the standard 15 round magazine out, set that down as well. And then underneath comes with a nifty little lock. It's probably pretty cheap. Anything bolt cutters probably be able to cut right through this, but if you don't want your wife or say your kids at home, it'll do the job. It's obviously not going to protect a intruder or anybody like that's out to get a gun. It probably won't have any effect on them to get that off. Comes with some lube. It says use sparingly, and they gave you a sparingly amount here. I don't know, I won't use it. And then you got your SIG Sauer user manual, how to disassemble, basic knowledge, and that's that. Let's go ahead and get into the review portion though and see how this gun operates. First thing first, we're going to make sure it's cleared out. So take your magazine out, magazine's empty. Then using your slide stop or slide catch, whatever you want to call it, right here, hold back on that and lock your slide to the rear, verifying that that chamber is cleared out. There's nothing in there. What I see a lot of people doing on YouTube videos is putting their fingers in there. I would not recommend doing that. It's really not necessary. As long as you can see down inside your chamber, there's really no need to do that. Because what happens if, you send your slide forward? That's not good. So keep that in mind. I would never ever recommend somebody putting their fingers in there. So yeah, keep that in mind. But here it is in all its glory. It's cleared out now that we know that, and we can press on into the review. We'll start off with a little bit of characteristics about this weapon. See, it's a double action or single action pistol, meaning when it's double action, the trigger goes two motions, one to the rear and then once to the front. That would be called double action. Once that weapon's fired and say there's rounds in there, you'll notice the hammer stays back in the single action method of fire right there. And then to get that off of single action back into the safe, what they call safe on this weapon with the hammer forward, you would just use this decocking lever right here on the side. So the trigger pull in double action is kind of strong. It's about 10 pounds. Once you get it into single action, it's only about 4.5 pounds. I think it's like 4.4. Overall length of this weapon is about 8.7 inches. Height, about 5.5 inches. Inside here you got the barrel, which is about, I don't know, 5 inches, maybe 4, a little under 4, or excuse me, under 5 inches. Weight, 34 ounces. You got your normal mag capacity, 9mm, 10 or 15 rounds. You can see you got the night sights here. They're called SIG Light night sights. They line up nice like that, and they kind of glow at nighttime. So that's pretty cool. Got your Hogue grips down here. They're the G10 version. They're made specifically for SIG Sauer. They're kind of nice. They feel really, really nice in your hand. This is the flat dark earth finish from SIG. So this slide and receiver portion, you can see it's got the flat dark earth, and the grips are what give it that greenish color. See, it does come with the an accessory rail or a little Picatinny rail here. You could put a flashlight, possibly a laser sight. I don't know. You could probably come up with some other cool stuff on there. They make tons of accessories. See, the MSRP of this thing, I paid with taxes and any other fees that the dealer threw on there. I paid for about $1,300 for this thing out the door. So not bad for what it does. This is probably my favorite pistol that I have. So I think it's worth the money. And I actually forgot one very, very important piece of this gun right here. This portion right here, this is your threaded barrel, hence the TB. Just take that off. You can put your suppressor on there. It slides right on. Be careful once you take this thing off and you put it back on to not mess up those threads. Alright, so that's the outside, a little bit about the nomenclature. Again, you got your slide stop, slide release, you got your hammer, trigger, threaded barrel. You can see the barrel sticks out a little bit more, Picatinny rails. So let's go ahead and disassemble this thing. This is actually, I really love SIGs for this matter. I have a Glock 17 that I'll probably do a review on here in a couple days. This weapon right here is so simple to take apart. Unlike the Glocks where you got to hold back and pull down here and hurt your fingers after taking it apart, 5 or 6 times. So right here what you do, again, always make sure it's cleared out. Magazine, slide to the rear, verify that it's clear, down the magazine well, look inside the chamber there, and then what you do is send your slide forward, leave your slide to the rear. This little takedown lever here, rotate that until it's vertical towards your body. Just rotate it down. And then what you do is while holding onto the slide, you can either hold it up here or up top of here. Just send your slide forward and it's going to come off just like that. Inside here, you have your little recoil guide and spring. Comes apart. This is a very, very high quality recoil spring. The guide feels like it's metal, as you probably heard that. Looks like it's metal, feels like it's metal, so I'm going to have to go ahead and say it's probably metal. Inside here, you'll notice your barrel can't come out because you got your thread protector here. All you got to do is unscrew that, and this goes back inside, pulls right out. See, you got your barrel. Looks like 007 in there. And you got your slide. Nothing else is going to come off inside of there. Alright, these sights are more than likely adjustable. I haven't really read into that if they are or not. Then you got your receiver portion here. Nothing's really going to come off this. You can take the grips off and kind of see some of the internals. You can see your springs and whatnot. Unless you know you got something in there, I wouldn't really recommend taking these grips off. If you do, once you get them off and go to tighten them back up, just hand tight on these screws because you can have potential to crack these guards. Alright, so that's that. That's how you disassemble it. Overall, this weapon is, like I said, it's probably my favorite weapon. It feels amazing in my hand. The weight distribution is phenomenal. The way it feels once you shoot it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble it here, and I'm going to probably talk about a few more things while we're doing that. To reassemble, just put your barrel end down, making sure this little fin is up and pull back to the rear. At this point, you can either assemble and put on your protector for your threads here, this front end of your barrel. I usually wait until the end. Take your recoil guide and spring and place it into here. And push in a little bit until it catches on this little fin. You can hold your hand on here like this to kind of keep that grasp, because if not, that's under a lot of spring tension. If you let go of that, it could potentially break your TV, or if someone's in the room, you could potentially hit their eye out. Alright, once you do this, all you got to do, lock your slide to the rear again, rotate that takedown lever up, send your slide forward, you can go ahead and reattach your end of your barrel here, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I always like to decock my weapon. Alright, like I said, it's got these night sights on it. If that's important to you, great. I really don't do a lot of shooting at night. I am law enforcement for the military, but you know we don't get to carry stuff like this. That would be a cool feature to have on our Berettas, but unfortunately we don't. So if you guys do a lot of shooting, like I said, these little optics will light up. I believe they're greenish. They are greenish tint, but they're really nice for the daytime. They line up just perfectly. Like I said, again, your hand feels amazing in this thing. It's kind of a little bit top heavy, but once you start shooting it, the recoil is absolutely phenomenal. I will tell you one disadvantage. I have quite large hands. I'm about 6'2", 195 pounds. My hands are relatively large in comparison with this weapon. So when I hold my guns, I always overlap my fingers like this. And what I noticed when I first started shooting this gun is the fact that after I fired my last shot, normally if you have a magazine in that's empty, if you lock it to the rear after you fire, if you fire your last round, it's going to lock to the rear. Okay, what was happening, I was firing my last round and my finger was here, so it wasn't locking to the rear. So that's kind of a disadvantage I didn't really feel when I was trying out this gun, but it shouldn't be a problem if you have smaller hands. So again, whenever you guys are firing this, just be aware of that. It's nothing wrong with the weapon. More than likely your finger is just bothering this slide stop, allowing that, not allowing that slide to lock to the rear. But again, it's pretty decent. I'd recommend it to anybody. So, you know, if you have the money to treat yourself or you're looking for a new pistol to take out on the weekend, I'd recommend it. As far as concealed carry goes, it's probably out of the question. I'm not going to conceal carry this. That's why I have my 38. I got a bodyguard that I'll do a review on as well. That's my concealed carry gun. This thing is more or less for range, for show. This is going to be my pretty much prized piece that I'm going to try to take care of and show off to all my friends and make them jealous. So if you guys have any questions, shoot me an email. Please make any comments, you feel free. If you guys have any questions, just send me a PM.